Would you trust riding in an electric vehicle from, yes, from China? China?
U.S. politicians, Republican and Democrat, are fighting to keep Chinese automakers out of America. But some of these companies are already here. There are more than 100 Chinese automotive firms with some kind of operation in the U.S., according to Dunn Insights, a consultancy which focuses on autonomous and EV markets. BYD makes buses in California. Chinese battery maker CATL has a deal with Ford to make EV batteries in Michigan. But by far, the company probably best positioned to sell full cars in the US right now is Geely, auto industry analysts told me. That's because, in a way, it already does.
Geely is the only one that actually has a physical footprint already in the US through those other brands. So they've got the factory, they've got distribution network, they've got a supply chain.
The name Geely can refer to a holding company, a publicly traded OEM, and a brand, depending on the context. Geely Holding is a large shareholder in 3 automakers that all operate in the US: Volvo, Polestar, and sports car maker Lotus. Geely Holding owns 78.8% of Volvo's stock. Volvo and Geely founder Li Shufu, who also goes by the name Eric Li, together control a large stake in Polestar. Geely Holding controls 51% of Lotus. It also has a smaller stake in Mercedes-Benz and in luxury maker Aston Martin. While Geely Holding is Volvo's majority shareholder, a Volvo spokesperson said in an email that Geely does not manage or oversee any daily operations of Volvo cars or any listed companies it holds shares in. Premium EV brand Polestar, which was spun out of Volvo, is also listed on NASDAQ. Lotus is split between 2 entities, one public and one private, but the
Let's say that is the case, though. If you own that much of a percentage of a company, what is to stop you from having more influence? What is to stop you from, let's say you want to be a Mark Cuban, right? And you want to have your hands on what's happening and more influence and stuff like that. If you're the majority shareholder, what stops you from being able to do that? Just because you quote unquote don't do it now. What if you don't like where things are going? Aren't you going to make some changes and stuff like that? So I don't know. It is a bit, just because you say it, that doesn't mean anything, because we've seen that these rags ain't loyal. These large language models ain't loyal.
Public company plans to acquire the privately owned piece, and Geely Holding is the majority owner of both. These companies also have deep ties in other ways. Geely manufactures Lotus EVs in China. Geely Holding's CFO is on Polestar's board, and Geely founder Li Shufu is Volvo's chair. Both Volvo and Polestar collaborate extensively with Geely, and Volvo CEO Håkan Samuelsson said the relationship puts Volvo in a better position to compete with Chinese automakers than its peers. In its annual report, Volvo said it wants to expand the relationship. All 3 of these brands.
But Volvo might as well be a Chinese automaker if a Chinese company has that much stake in it, no? How much did they say? Did they say step? Where are we at? Go back real quick. If Geely is a Chinese company and they have 78% share, like 78% share in Volvo, Volvo might as well be a Chinese company.
Li Shufu, Volvo, Polestar, and sports car and a brand, depending on the context. Geely Holding is a large shareholder in 3 automakers that all operate in the US: Volvo, Polestar, and sports car maker Lotus. Geely Holding owns 78.8% of Volvo's stock. Volvo and Geely.
That is a lot. They own you. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you if Geely said, you know what, we want to change the name of Volvo to Geely. It's they're going.
Geely founder Li Shufu, who is Volvo's chair with Chinese automakers than its peers. In its annual report, Volvo said it wants to expand the relationship. All 3 of these brands have dealership networks in the US. Volvo also owns a plant in South Carolina. A spokesman for Volvo told me he wanted to stress that Volvo Cars is the owner of the plant, not Geely. But Volvo CEO Samuelson reportedly
Geely
said
owns
on
you.
April 29th that the company would be open to making Chinese cars at the plant, and it does have capacity. That factory is vastly underutilized, said Sam Abu Al-Samid, who is a researcher at Telemetry Insights. It's producing a fraction of its annual capacity of about 150,000 units. Volvo does plan to...
So here's a question, right? If Chinese automakers go into the US to make cars, make EVs in particular, that does bring more jobs, especially since Volvo plant in South Carolina. However, do you trust? And the thing is with EVs, they are highly electrical, integrated, remote. So do you trust Chinese automakers in the United States? Chinese cars in the United States? Right? Does that, like, we were so, like, imagine that. We were so terrified of TikTok. So we were about to ban TikTok out of the United States. We've banned DJI drones in the United States, but we would have Chinese cars roaming our streets. Don't you guys remember the movie? I always forget the ones that the Obamas produced, where they had the Teslas like just driving all over the place. So I don't know.
To grow those volumes. It's introducing production of the hybrid XC60 SUV to the plant, which Abu Al-Samid estimates will add another roughly 45,000 units. Volvo's Americas president, Luis Fresende, told me late last year that the company at the time was importing about 95% of the vehicles it sold in the US. It wants to boost US sales to 200,000 units a year and wants its Charleston factory to produce about 50 to 60% of that. A likely candidate for a US introduction might be Geely Auto's Chinese brand Zeekr, kind of a performance-oriented premium brand. Analyst Tu Lei says might slot right in below Volvo.
Executives from Zeekr have said that they want to introduce the Zeekr brand into the U.S. market. So that, of the other Geely brands, and they have a whole range of brands, but the other Geely Group brands, that is the most likely one to be introduced into the U.S. market.
Zeekr already has a partnership with Whimo, which has been rolling out Waymo-equipped Zeekr vans in San Francisco. Waymo also uses Jaguar I-Pace EVs and has plans to use vehicles from Hyundai and Toyota as well. In China, Geely has become a rising star in the country's brutal domestic car market. Shares surged in early March after the company outpaced its Chinese rival in sales 2 months in a row. Worldwide, Geely Holdings brands sold close to 1 million vehicles in the first quarter of 2026. Among Chinese companies, Geely is unusually at ease operating in markets that are quite different from China.
They've entered many markets in Europe, so they're gaining a lot more experience about being an international presence. And so, but make no mistake, the jewel is the United States, where they all feel that it can be their most profitable market.
One of its challenges is
because they know that we will buy anything from anyone for any price, and then we're gonna cry and complain about affordability. I'm right.
Is that it might be stretched a bit thin across all of the different brands it is operating, Dunn Insight's CEO Michael Dunn told me. While Geely is definitely one of the best positioned to set up shop in the US, it's not alone. Stellantis has a roughly 20% stake in Chinese automaker Leapmotor.
There's another opportunity to rebadge an existing vehicle as a Fiat or something that's more familiar to Americans, and there's already an infrastructure in place.
Everybody in the industry outside of China is rightly scared of trying to compete with these companies.
Of course, Geely and every other Chinese automaker has to deal with sharp opposition from many in the US government. Speaking at the New York Automotive Forum in April, US Senator Bernie Moreno called Chinese cars a cancer on the US auto industry. There already is a federal rule that bans any kind of technology from China related to connected cars. Currently, there is also a 100% tariff on Chinese EVs, and that can be even higher if combined with other duties. About 38% of American consumers in a February survey taken by Cox Automotive said they would consider a Chinese car. Close to 70% of younger buyers would. And Donald Trump recently said at an address to the Detroit Economic Club that he'd be open to Chinese companies setting up shop in the U.S.
Now, if they want to come in and build a plant and hire you and hire your friends and your neighbors, that's great. I love that. Let China come in, let Japan come in. They are. And they'll be building plants, but they're using our labor.
What do you think about that? If they want to sell cars in the United States of America, they have to build them here, as opposed to it being built in China. And then, and here's the thing, right? If it gets built in China, then they already have their robots and everything like that, but then they're having their human labor, which is like dirt cheap, so they can end up selling the cars for cheaper to us here. But we also don't get our American jobs. So, what would you rather? Would you rather the cars built dirt cheap, lack of quality control in China, imported over here, and you get the car a lot cheaper, but probably a lesser quality and no American jobs, or get better oversight, better quality, better whatever else with American jobs, but you pay more for the car. So that's it. I am curious of your thoughts on the whole matter. To like, first, are you in favor of Chinese electric vehicles in the United States? Right? That's number one. Number two, if you are in favor, would you prefer them to be made over in China and shipped over here, or would you be okay with Chinese vehicles in the United States but manufactured here in the United States? So the Chinese company is the parent company, but Americans build the cars and they get paid for that, right? So let me know your thoughts. Drop me a comment, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live, and drop new content as well. techcoachralph.dev. You do not want to miss it. Vibe Code and Chill, riveting tech conversations. We're building really, really cool stuff. Presentations, people are leveling up. Our Scrum Nights with my tech barbarians as they review what they did for the past 2 weeks and plan for the next 2 weeks. Resume Flow to fix your resume. Tech Barbarians Coaching Portal to organize your life. And the Speak Precisely app so that you can communicate effectively and efficiently.
They see the wins, but they don't see the work. They don't see the pioneer digging in the dirt, digging to the core. This that 305 hustle, baby. Let's ride.